Yes. So, hello, everybody. My name is Lynda Lippin, and I am the founder and CEO of Lynda Lippin Pilates. I have been a Pilates and fitness instructor and teacher trainer for about 32 years. And prior to 2020, I did most of my work, as most trainers do, in a Pilates studio or a gym situation. I have been lucky enough in my life to have owned award-winning brick and mortar Pilates studios. I have been lucky enough to run the Pilates and fitness programming at an A-list private island in the Turks and Caicos, and to have been a master instructor here in New York City at Real Pilates, which is the preeminent classical Pilates studio on the East Coast of the United States. I've also trained hundreds of Pilates teachers, many of whom are training teachers and having their own successful businesses, as we speak. Currently, I do only training online, and that was the pivot that I made last year. I serve women over 50 who have osteoporosis and or chronic pain. I serve them through my online Strong Bones Pilates programs, as well as through online classes and private sessions. And on the business to business side, I actually serve other Pilates teachers who are having issues with scaling their businesses, finding their ideal clients, and pivoting their businesses online to either fully online or at least a hybrid model. And I do that through my trademarked signature Pilates Teacher Mastermind program, which is a 1-year business accelerator and continuing education program for Pilates teachers. So I live in Lower Manhattan. I'm right down by the Brooklyn Bridge with my husband and our rescue dog from Thailand, Juniper Peanut. And that's me. I had a number of inspirations towards entrepreneurship. For a lot of my career, I was an independent contractor because, in the fitness, yoga, and Pilates realm, especially here in the United States, companies tend to want to hire independent contractors, which simply means that they don't have to pay, matching employment taxes and deal with benefits and things like that. And what that means from the teacher side is that you are actually running your own business. Most people don't think of it that way because the studios still tend to control schedules and timing and money. So, they kind of do act as an employer even though they're not. But from the teacher side, you are independent and you are running your own business. So my first inspirations were other Pilates teachers who I saw, running great businesses, running great studios. The late Mari Windsor, who, many people know from the Windsor Pilates DVDs that were sold on QVC for years. In home shopping, so many people got their introduction to Pilates from Mari Windsor's DVDs. And she was a huge inspiration to me, both as a business person and as a teacher. But then I had a lot of clients who became inspirations to me because I very quickly realized that I needed to work with a higher end clientele in order to make enough money to survive teaching Pilates. And as soon as I started being in the room, basically with people who were at a higher economic level than I was, and who were running businesses and sitting on boards and doing these CEO things on their own, then I really was able to kind of pick their brains and really, really learn a lot. And I had clients who were everybody from the family that developed flexible plastic packaging in the United States, to a family who built scaffolding and scaffolding to the point where it was the scaffolding used when they, redid the Statue of Liberty and cleaned her up. And I really worked with these folks who were not only owned huge businesses, but had started them from nothing and had scaled them into, businesses big enough to sell or to go public. And I really, I pulled from those people. And now my coaches lately are, I worked with a woman named Kelly Roach for the past year on learning the business side of working online and launching online and getting paid online and getting clients online and running programs and doing podcasts and all of that. This year, I'm starting to work with a mindset coach named Kelly Ruda, because now I need to work on scaling my business, and I have a whole lot of work that I need to do because I like to have control. And clearly scaling is going to involve hiring some people to help me and giving up a little bit of control. So that's the stuff I'm working on right now. But I have found at every stage of the game, inspiring women and some inspiring men that have really helped, give me the push that I needed and the understanding that I needed to move forward. The most important skill anyone can have in any kind of business, whether it's today or in the future, or frankly in the past, is resilience and an openness to new ideas and strategies. If you think that your way of doing things is the only way and that there's no other way of doing it, and when you come up with blocks, you don't look for help and you don't look for assistance and you don't, ask the question of, what is it that I need to do to get past this and to move past this, then I can almost guarantee you that you're not going to be successful. It's a matter of being resilient. It's also a matter of doing the work. I was joking in an interview yesterday, in fact, that I had challenged myself for this month, starting this week, to sell at least 7 things every week, right? I want the equivalent of 1 sale a day every single week for a month. And that was, kind of my new goal. Now, but I couldn't just make that a goal and not send out an email or have a product to sell or post on social media or let people know that I was actually selling things that they might want to buy, right? So there were things that I had to do in order to make that happen. So, I think the most important skill is the sense of resilience and the ability to do the work, because you need to be able to make the shift to see what's working, what's not working, go with what's working, try to discover more of what can work, realize that some of the things that you're doing are not working and that there are better ways of doing it. And there are people that can teach you that, right? And then doing that work of making those changes and making those shifts. I think the biggest mistake everybody makes is, when they think of like the law of attraction, is they think that they can just like say the affirmation and it's like magically going to come true. The universe may put many things into place for us, but we still have to do something. We still have to recognize what's around us, right? And do some kind of work to make that happen. So, that ability to work and resilience are going to be your best skills moving forward. I think that social media, for most business owners, social media is kind of like a bear, right? It's something we wrestle with. It's something we're not sure we ever want to deal with, or that we like to deal with. But the fact of the matter is that people are on social media, which means that if you're in a service business, I can almost guarantee you that the customers you serve are somewhere on social media. So to ignore social media if you're in a service business, even in a brick and mortar service business, is just silly, because even though there's, a whole host of evils that might go with social media, it's free and it allows you to connect with your customers and potential customers for free. All it takes, is a little bit of work on your part to, create some interesting photos and graphics and have some message that you want to put out there. It's also a fact that you could literally run an entire business if you wanted to for free on Facebook. You could do a Facebook page that you could point a URL domain name to. You could do a Facebook group that you just put your potential customers into and start serving them for free and talking to them there, without even having a website or paying for anything except that domain name, right? You can spend a tiny bit of money, $15 pays for a Zoom Pro account that allows you to do meetings for, as long as you want to, and for up to 50 people. And you can really start an online business in that way using social media. Now, the fact of it is I don't believe anything we put online is private. Okay. It is my firm belief that anything you put out there on somebody else's server is not private. And the minute you use social media, using social media means that you've agreed to the terms and conditions of that social media entity. So, every once in a while, every 6 months or so, you start to see that thing on Facebook where it's like, I, don't give Facebook permission to use my photos or whatever. Like, if you're using Facebook, you've agreed to the terms and conditions of Facebook. Now, because I don't believe anything that I put out there is private, I don't put anything out there that I don't want out there. So you can go into any of my social media accounts and look at anything and have a good time with that. And I stand by everything that's there. So again, I think you need to use social media strategically. I think that you need to use social media to talk to your audience, to stay in your lane. I think it's very easy to get swept up in social media and have it be all consuming. It does not have to be. There are apps that, will help you schedule your social media posts that, do everything. There are things like, what we're using right now, a service called StreamYard that allow you to live stream to multiple places at once, and also to record live streaming videos. And it's not that expensive, right? There's a lot of opportunity using social media, using live video especially, and groups to really talk to your clients and corral them in a group that's your space. It's like bringing them into your little, waiting room or your little office where you can really talk to them and be with them and answer their questions and serve them. So, love it or hate it, especially if you're doing business online, you need to be on social media. Just understand that everything you put on there is potentially public or publicly accessible, and use it as a tool to speak to your ideal clients and try to bring them into your ecosystem. So I don't know anybody in life who hasn't faced significant challenges on their way to some kind of understanding and some kind of success. And this, this comes from my being with everyone from like royalty and heads of state to, heads of major corporations to, everyday workers. And everybody has had challenges. I grew up with a mentally ill mother. So I very early in my life learned how to fend for myself and take care of myself, and take care of other people as best I could along with that. Then, I've had tons of stress in my life. I think we all have. I've had significant health challenges in my life. I've got autoimmune issues. I have chronic pain issues that I deal with on a daily basis. But, I sort of wrestle with that, but I can't let that stop me from moving forward because, it's pain that I can live with, right? And there's nothing much I can do about it anyway. I find that getting through challenges. And like, frankly, I mean, for me, the last 5 years in the United States has been a challenge. You know, I had huge issues with the administration prior to the current one. I basically lived in a state of anxiety and PTSD like the entire time because I felt unsafe in the same way that I did with my parents as a kid being in this country under that president. And then we had, you know, the whole COVID situation. My building is right next to downtown hospital here in Lower Manhattan. We had a morgue trailer on my street. You know, it was a lot. And then the whole leaving the studio and pivoting online, and I spent the last year doing launches and, you know, honing a consumer program as well as a business program. And it was great. And I built my business to a place where I can now fully work for myself, not work for anybody else as of September 1st, right? And take care of myself and my family with that income, which is wonderful for me. But it was extraordinarily stressful getting here. And now I'm dealing with that. I've had shingles for the past few weeks. You know, my body's kind of letting me know that the last year was a little much and that I, you know, might need to slow things down. And again, because I have some autoimmune system issues, my body, you know, really lets me know when things are happening. I had the same response after both of my parents died in 2013. You know, this is how my body deals with stress, and it's how it's dealt with the last year. Now, is that a challenge? Does it suck? Yes, it does. Does it mean that there's nothing I can do? Absolutely not, because you want to know something? Now I work from home. I can stop. I can take a nap if I need to. I can move a client around if I need to. I don't at least have to get up, get dressed, get to a studio, take the subway, you know, get up super early, rush around. And, you know, once again, the resilience that I've built over my lifetime, now at 54, allows me to really, you know, respond and go with challenges that arise and come up with strategies to address them. Like right now, that's why I'm doing the mindset work with my new coach, Kelly Ruda, because I know that I can't continue to run my business the way I have, right? This response I'm having now to that challenge lets me know that I need some assistance, that I need some help, and I need to figure out who I need, what I need, and again, how to let go of control to allow those people to help serve me. So there we go. One of the things that I did not do as a new entrepreneur 30 years ago, even 10 or 20 years ago, because I always had a my side to my practice, was get coaching. Some reason I thought, you know, I have a PhD. I thought that I could read books and figure it out, right? And I did. I ran successful businesses almost by chance, almost by luck. I served my clients well. I knew how to do it in that realm, but didn't really know much about running a business. Now, this did kind of kick me in the butt financially at varying times. I ended up in a personal bankruptcy at one point. And, you know, we recovered from a lot of that going to Turks and Caicos, right? Because we were offshore. There's a foreign earned income exemption here in the US. And, you know, we were able to kind of sock away money post bankruptcy to kind of get back on our feet. So and by the way, I had clients who were some of the top business coaches, who were some of the top mindset coaches, and who were some of the top financial advisors. And I didn't think at that time that I could afford or that was important for me to pay for to do that kind of work. Well, now that I'm doing that kind of work 30 years later, and suddenly getting clearer on who I serve, on how I serve them, on how to actually run my business and run my programs and do my launches and sell and all of those things. I got all of that through paying for coaching. Okay. I did my own taxes for a long time because I thought that's what you did. My parents thought only really, really rich people had, accountants to do their taxes. Then I got audited. You know something? I have a great accountant now. And she got me through audit, and now she's my accountant moving forward because I don't need the stress of that. In a way, that was kind of like my first hire, right? My first giving up of control was hiring the CPA. But I highly, highly encourage you that if you're looking, that if you have some seed money going into your business, if that's the kind of business you're in, or when you first start earning some profit, the two things that I'm going to tell you are, number one, get a copy of Profit First, the book, or my friend Suzanne's Profit First for Minority Business Enterprises, and learn those lessons because they will help you keep more of the money that you're taking into your business seriously, life-changing in terms of accounting. Secondly is hire the professionals. Get a business coach. Start your business outright. Get a mindset coach. Don't go through the crashes and the breakdowns that can happen on your way to business success, because they will happen. They happen to all of us. Lately in the news here in the US, we're reading all about the kind of summer camps of the billionaires where, it's like Zuckerberg and Bezos and all of them getting together in a conference. And what I realized is that's not like a joke summer camp, that folks who are running businesses that are in the $40 to $100 billion level have different issues and different problems than folks who are running businesses at a 6-figure level, at a 7-figure level, at an 8-figure level. Okay. Their business concerns are different. Their mindset concerns are different. Their concerns about giving back and charity and large scale are different. And you know who they need to talk to about those issues? Other people at their same level. And it's hard to get them all together at the same time due to everyone having crazy schedules and going to space and whatever else is going on and running their businesses and having their families. And they need that time to really get together just to talk to each other about how to move forward. So, that's like the two biggest pieces of advice I can give you is, number one, start with your financial house in order. Okay. And number two, go with coaching and go with networking. You can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. You will break down at some point. You will need help, and you just might as well start with the support you need from the beginning.